Hi there, this is
Exclusive hot.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Coach B.
Hey, it's Cammie. Welcome back to the Millennial Couple Podcast. So we got a special treat with you for you today. We have a couple of friends with us. We consider them family, actually. They're part of the team. It's our squad. Introduce yourselves. Come on.
I'm anonymous under protest.
So we got Miss Anonymous here. She didn't want to really be on the show to express her feelings. I don't know what kind of feelings she might have. I don't know if she's gonna lose her job after she say something. So, we just gonna keep it anonymous. That's her name is Anonymous today. We're gonna pixelate her face, if we get her on the gram. But who's next?
What's up, guys? I'm Jordan. Nice to meet y'all. That's about it.
And you guys know Jordan. He's the infamous one that I've been hearing about because he's been on a previous podcast. So we're gonna get to that topic later. So what we here to discuss today, Coach B?
Well, I first and foremost, I think I remember last time we was talking, and you was talking about what happened with. You kept hearing the rumors that me and Jordan was talking about. I think we need to start right there in that conversation. Let's just go ahead and let it all
We
out.
gonna start there.
You
I
know
thought
what
we
I'm
was gonna
saying?
warm
I'm
up with
just
some
saying.
other stuff.
Well, we can. So what you feel like talking about? Because
Let's warm it up because I don't want to scare nobody up in here today. Because I'm coming to bring people to court. We going on trial because I need to know what happened. I had a couple of people coming. We gonna save that for later. So y'all hang in. But so right now, I just wanted to talk about and celebrate. Y'all know we have it's not this year, but in 2022, me and Coach B will be celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary. Hey. Oh yeah, these real claps, y'all. We ain't even had to add them claps in. What?
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
So that's the exciting thing. I just wanted to talk about it because, of course, it's a special thing. But as we are planning for it, so we're planning on having a wedding or a vow renewal. So we've been discussing little things here and there. We got over a year to plan for it. But I came to Antonio like a month ago, and I approached him and I said, I was just thinking about should I have anybody walk me down? So y'all know my backstory if y'all have been listening to the podcast. So my backstory is, my father and mother, they divorced when I was still in utero. So my mother was still pregnant with me. So when they divorced, my father he didn't come through. He didn't come around. I didn't really see him. I saw him maybe a couple of times in my childhood, couple of gifts or birthday presents here and there. And then when I was around age 23, we reunited, and me and Antonio got married maybe a year or two after me and my father reunited. So when it came to walking me down the aisle, my grandfather walked me down the aisle. And my grandfather, of course, he's been there for me my whole life. So that was a treasure. And it really wasn't a second thought to think, my father would walk me because I really just got reunited with him. So the interesting thing is that I came to Antonio or Coach B and told him like, I think I'll have for the 15th vow renewal, I'll have my dad walk me down the aisle. And I already said that like me saying dad is just even odd to me. For the past like 10,
you are saying dad. I'm
10
like,
to 15
okay.
years,
I'm
I've been saying like
okay.
father or his first name. I'm going to keep his first name anonymous. I'm going to go like a other guest. So, so I don't know. And the reception that I got from Antonio, it seemed like it was like, huh? Or like shock or why you want to do that? So what do you think, Antonio? And don't try to act like you weren't saying that. So what were your thoughts when I initially said that?
Well, I'm just gonna be realistic, Jay. That's all. I'm gonna keep it real. So I think when she told me that, my question was like, because my dad not being around, but my dad still made the wedding. So when we did first get married, my dad did come to the wedding, but at the same time, I knew we got blessed by my by our grandfather, by her grandfather. So I'm thinking like, yo, we about to do a new revival, a new what they call it,
Vow renewal.
vow renewal. So by us just doing that, I kind of was like, yo, I don't know if is he gonna be a good person for me to be doing mine. But I again, I was thinking that. So that was my part. I was thinking like, you know what? Maybe that's not a good idea. When you said that, because guess what? He already been through one mess up thing. I don't want him to be put that on my marriage. That's how I
So
felt.
so that was my thing. I'm like, in life, you're supposed to have renewals and forgiveness and just moving forward. And then you brought it to my attention that, oh, what if your mother felt the way about it? And then I started second guessing myself, like, oh, but then I had to come to the conclusion, which I already came 2 years ago. Like, that's not on me. I'm not carrying anybody's baggage from whatever happened in their relationship. And I just choose to move forward. I've forgiven and I'm moving forward. And I think it would be like a good gesture to have him walk me down the aisle. And like I was saying previously, I don't think it really puts anything on my marriage, because our marriage is going to be our marriage. I was already given away by my grandfather. I'm yours, you are mine. It's nothing that anybody that walks me down can do it. But I know you suggested having both of my parents walk me down. And I thought that was crazy. Like, I'm like, nah, I don't know. That might be an issue.
I think overall, I think you still should open it up to where both parents be more mature. Because, like you said, if we're gonna do that, then everybody should be still mature. So I think overall, I think we was kind of like, if I'm thinking about it now, it's like kind of you putting you trying to make sure you protect one person and not the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm still taking care of somebody other feelings. So if you said it that way, then I feel personally like, yo, they can walk down the stairs together. They don't have to be married, because they both are giving their grown child, grandkids away for, and this is the right way it should happen, regardless of if they're together.
That's another thing that I thought about, like in terms of generation. Like, it would be, that's a blessing to have your grandkids see both of their grandparents and see it in a, not, it don't even have to be loving, but just a cordial, yeah, there you go, positive way. Isn't that right, Anonymous? What you think?
Don't play with me.
You on the show for a reason, Miss Anonymous. Miss Anonymous has something to say and doesn't want to speak. I don't understand.
So, Jordan, what's your take on it? Let's move to your way. I know
Well, you know me, I'm a single young brother out here, so I've never had the experience of marriage. I don't even have a thought of it, honestly. But if we got to talk about it, I mean, see, I've grown up in a household where my parents were together my entire life, so I had that whole environment where I never saw like a divorce or, there was conflict and stuff, but it wasn't anything like major kind of thing. It was like, the Huxtable family kind of thing. It was straight. So in terms of, I think it's just a personal choice. Like, it matters. I can't speak on it too much because it's not my experience. I don't want to say something, about divorce or how people's emotions are around it, because I really don't know. I don't know what it's like to be abandoned by my father, or not have my mother there all the time, or not, feeling weird calling my dad, because, I've been doing that since I was a little kid. So it's just different for me. I've had that, I've had those memories. They're always there for my birthday. I literally just saw them like 2 hours ago. So, they're both at the house chilling,
That's
so
a blessing.
It's different for me. I don't have that same experience. So, I sympathize with people with parents with divorce. I think it causes a lot of issues that we don't talk about as a society, that kind of thing, especially long-term issues and relationship things. But for me personally, I can't speak much on it because, again, it's not really my place. It's not my experience.
Wow. So just you saying that, Jordan, I just think that speaks volumes. Like your norm is to have both of your parents. Like, you don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
So in my head, when I see people like you, I'm just like, wow. And although I feel like I had an amazing childhood, I don't feel like I was really missing something. It didn't occur to me until I was in like my mid-20s and going through marriage and not realizing like roles, and not that you have to follow gender roles, but just roles of how you interact as a couple. I like how I never saw that, but I look at people like you, and even through my childhood, like, wow, I wonder how that is, and do they understand? Do you feel like you're blessed or different, or like, can you see that? I don't want to say what you experience is an anomaly, but it is like sort of like amazing and like
No, I definitely think it's a blessing for sure. Like, I count my blessings all the time, because I remember when because I grew up in a very like come from like a pretty privileged background. So pretty much everybody I knew still had like, you know, 2-parent households, all that kind of stuff. So divorce, you know, it happened here and there, but it wasn't like that big of a deal, like theme in my like life, even my friends' lives. So when I got to college is when I realized like the difference of people like who came from like, you know, lower incomes or had like maybe a 1-parent household, didn't have their fathers. Like a lot of the friends I had in college like didn't grow up with their dads or any of that kind of stuff. And that's how I kind of learned about like the psychological difference and like how it like really changes you and how you move and stuff. But no, honestly, like it's a complete blessing. Like I feel, you know, disheartened when I hear kids say like, oh, I've never had my dad show to a game or show to my practice, or I don't have my parents pick me up after school kind of thing. Like I literally had my mom drop me off every day until I was taking the bus or driving. My dad never missed a game. He drove me to all my practices. Like, you know, I woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. We're driving 2-3 hours, but like they were always there. Like I could call my mom, you know, 2 in the morning, she answers. I can call my dad, you know, he's not as good on his phone as my mom, but I can still call him. He was, you know, come through, help me out. Like, no, it's been a blessing. And having 2 parents and not having that burden of, you know, and being an adult now and thinking of that burden, it really is being a single parent and stuff. I think, you know, having 2 parents be able to distribute the responsibility, it causes less stress in the household. And a lot of the, you know, I think the early growing up that has to happen when you do come from like a single family household is kind of avoided. Like I didn't have to really grow up until I actually became an adult. You know, everything was kind of protected.
Everything you said was like completely on point for me. I agree with it. With that being said, because it's a beautiful thing, marriage. But you literally started off the show saying you're not thinking about getting married. It's not on the radar. So it's like if you know that it's like a beautiful thing, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want to be a part of that or look for that? And that's not saying you have to do it now.
Yeah.
But saying like you can see that in your near future. You're not like a baby. You're not like 21. I can't recall your age, but you're not like a baby. So, you know, at your age now, it can be on the radar like, okay, I could see maybe settling down and giving a woman that having kids and instilling in them things that my parents did and giving that, or even, well, you coach and stuff. I was going to say other kids and things, but sometimes it helps you to do it more when you have kids because it's just like it happens more often.
Yeah.
So what is that like? If there's a chasm there, like it's not sort of adding up or matching.
For me, it's like I've never like when I became an adult, I never like looked at myself as like, you know, getting like a 9-to-5, settling down with some kids by 27, 28, you know, getting a dream house, having 2 dogs. And that wasn't my dream. So for me, I look at marriage or something. It's like, it's super, like relationships in general, just dating is hard. So like, I couldn't imagine having a lifelong commitment to somebody. Like that's crazy.
Complicated.
So for me, it's more just like, it's nothing to play with. Like I got to find somebody I'm ready to lock in with. Like I know they're like, you know, like it's just a lot of things you have to consider in a marriage. Like, you know, it's, you love each other, you know, it's cute, all that stuff is fun, but like, we gonna be living together. We got finances, we got a household to manage, we got all this stuff like that goes in between it. So finding a partner, I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, it's somewhat like, you know, important, but like to me, it's just gonna come, or whatever comes. It's not like a priority because marriage is serious. It's so serious. Like I'm gonna commit to you. We're gonna be here for life. We're gonna go through ups and downs, through sickness and through health, all that stuff. So I just don't play around with it. Like, and also, I mean, I'm having fun now. Why waste that? You know what I mean? Like, why waste my prime?
And then there's that,
right? To be honest with you, but I mean, like honestly, like I think in the world, like in my world right now, in my head, there's no reason to like, you know, be committed to life or none of that stuff. There's options, you know, I got things to see, people to see.
I see.
You know,
it sounds like you're just like non-conventional, just in general.
Oh,
and
very
that includes like marriage and that concept of like timetables of doing this.
Oh yeah. I eliminated that like early, like when I was like 18, 19, I eliminated all that stuff. Cause like to me, it's like, what is that? Like if I want to get married at 35 and it works out for me better, then cool. I spent that whole time I was single. I was, you know, like now I'm single. I got my own business. I'm getting my money right. You know, this summer I can be out and travel. I got no responsibilities. I got no kids to worry about. I got nobody hitting my phone talking about, oh, I want you here. I don't got none of that stuff. I don't got no headaches, nothing. I'm living life is beautiful. So why am I going to disrupt that? And I'm not saying I'm like somebody isn't worth it, but like to me, it's like I really need to work or like really have the mindset to get to that point. Cause like right now, I'm, you know, I'm living like to me, in my head, I'm living a life that every married man wants to live, basically. Like
or married woman,
but
I know women that are like you as well. So I don't think this is like just a solely a male thing.
Right.
I know a lot of women that are like that. Like marriage, that's like slavery to women. Like I got to do this. I'm gonna be expected to do that.
Right.
Kids, that's gonna hold me back. So it's not just even a male perspective. I think
that's true.
A lot of people in like that half generation down from us are in that mindset of
No,
just
true.
like being free.
No, that's true, and I
Yeah.
agree with that. I only say the male part because I'm a male, so I can only
Yeah,
speak to that part. But for me, it's like, for instance, like I like talk to guys who are married or like people who are older than me and stuff, and they talk like not Coach Boy, but other people. Not to put them on the spot because what I'm about to say.
Oh, not Coach Boy.
But no, like I hear like even if like people on TV, I hear the same thing. Like marriage is cool and stuff, but it's work, it's hard, it's this and that, and like to me, it's like, and like, there's always some kind of thing where you're like, I wonder this, is the grass always greener, or like this. To me, it's just like it's too much. It's too much. So if like right now, I know myself. Like if I were to get into a marriage or something, or like get down on one knee and stuff. Honestly, in 3-4 years, I don't know if I'm gonna hurt that girl or not. To be honest with you, because like my mindset is not there. Like I'm not there to like commit that long term to somebody, because like I still got a wandering eye. I'm still out here, like doing my thing. So it's hard for me to say like, oh, I'm gonna not hurt somebody, or oh, I'm gonna be mature enough to like take that responsibility on, because I don't think I am it myself, to be honest with you.
Well, I know I personally want to say something because I think we on one side of the story. So Jordan speaking from a male side, and I know we got our other person that's in the room as well. I want to ask her the same question, just about how she feel as not seeing it, if you know her story, and when you don't have that present as a woman. Because I remember when me and you, babe, your first thing was saying like, it's a pleasure to see me hug the kids. And you was like, wow, I missed that as a dad. I never saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as
you
a child, I didn't have,
Yeah.
like, it's small things like that trigger for me. But I'm just interested in, can we get Anonymous? Can we get your opinion on that? Like, I'm being serious. I really do.
So-
like in
so my
terms of like
question
a young
was-
woman.
Yeah, as a young woman, as a young person that's going into today's time, just where in general, Bree, where you actually just anonymous, where you actually just coming out saying, you know what, this the way that I prefer. But because a lot of time we always thinking it's just the male, but some women think the same way. Like, yo, I don't want to be married. Yo, I ain't looking for no kids. And yo, listen, I don't care about that. That ain't what's important. And so Camila, that was important to her. She didn't see it, but then she still knew like, oh, yo, I want to get married, if that makes sense.
But wait a second. I didn't honestly, when I look back, we got married. Well, yeah, we were both 25. I wasn't expecting to get married. I always definitely wanted to get married and have kids one day, but I was so career oriented that when we sort of came together, it was sort of shocking to me. And I think it was shocking to a lot of people, like, oh, Camila doing all this, especially since I was so driven. And even when I had kids, like I had family members surprised, like, oh, you on the second, third, 3 kids. Like they were shocked just because they always just thought I was the goal oriented. And I never really was boy crazy or focused on any of that stuff. So it's interesting you say that, because I felt like my heart was that person that would have been fine if I didn't get married that early. And like, I'm going to go travel. I'm going to do me. Like I was always in that mindset. So it's just interesting to me that I did end up getting married younger. But Anonymous, he does have a question for you, because if I were to think, I don't know, but I'm waiting for you to tell me. I would think that you don't seem like you're in a rush to get married. You've told me you ain't trying to have kids right away either. So tell me what your perspective is.
No marriage, no kids.
Well, no marriage, no kids. And can you collaborate a little bit more to that?
No marriage, no kids for me. That's my personal thing. But I am wishing you guys happiness on your 4th and 5th child.
So, okay.
Okay, you have way too many jokes. But wait a second.
Make sure we edit that part.
We just want to scratch. That's when you just gonna do the on the thing. Okay. No, so you're like straight to the point. I like it. But can I get some elaboration? Like, has this always been your mindset? Are you saying no marriage, like you're not planning to ever get married?
Correct.
Okay, I got it. Correct. So has this always been your mindset since you were a kid? You gotta speak in the
Yes, always been my mindset.
Why? Is there anything that triggered that?
I mean, I don't know. I've always, like, people ask me in high school, like, you gonna get married and have kids? No, I'm not. You're not gonna have kids? No, I'm not.
Does that seem like something that is joyful to you, joyous for you, like when you were younger? So it didn't seem like I'm trying to figure out, did it seem like something that was just like not fun, too much work? Why the automatic no?
I'm good just babysitting your kids occasionally, I'm good with that. I tell my friends, do not bring me your children until after they are potty trained, can tell me what they want. Don't do it. I'm not the one.
So is that a generation thing, Jordan? Because me hearing her saying it, and now I'm thinking about it, because I even know our director, he might be feeling the same way. So it's like, is that just a generation thing? Like, is that just something like, yo, I know what I want. I know it's not marriage right now. I know I don't want no kids. And for me, I want to have kids like at 26, 28. That was something for me.
He was trying to have kids out the back when we got engaged. Yeah, can we start on kids? Wait, what?
Just so I can play with them, just so I can do certain things. But what's your take on that?
You know what it is, man? It's we grew up in with so many options around us. I can get on my phone and meet a girl like tonight, just like, driving down the street kind of, or like sitting right here kind of thing. So in terms of options and just the world has opened up so more, man. Like, I can get up, like, again, I can get on my phone. I see the entire world. I can, see this destination, see that destination. So it's just accessibility. And I think when you get to a certain point, when you're younger and stuff, you see all this stuff, you see all these options and stuff. The option of like, beforehand, it was like, oh, we're going to graduate college. We're going to get a nice job. We're going to establish a family. These were the things that brought people joy. But people are saying, changing the blueprint is changing, the quote unquote American dream or whatever we try and all like aspire for, like that little storyline is changing now. So we have options, like you don't have to get a 9 to 5 anymore. You can work a gig economy. You don't have to like, go to college anymore. You can go to YouTube University or, just get it, doing apprenticeships or that kind of thing. So there's so many different ways. I think it's just the same way that's evolved, the same way dating has evolved. And like people have considered relationships. Like I know a lot of my friends, like some of them are in relationships, like my brother's engaged, that kind of thing. So it's definitely like something people do. Like I know my brother's going to like almost 4 weddings this year, I think. So for his friend group, and they're younger than me. So, I mean, it's definitely something that happens, but they've like all been in relationships for like, 2, 3, 4 plus years, kind of out of college kind of thing. So that's more traditional. But again, I think it's just, it might not be as popular idea, or the idea of it is changing based on the amount of access and options we just have in our generation. Like, I've grown up with the internet my entire life, social media my entire life, cell phones my entire life. So I've had, the ability to access the world since I was like, almost like what, 9 or 10 years old. So this is different.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Just the whole concept, because I guess you guys are like the younger millennials, correct?
We're on that cusp.
You're like right at the edge of it. To the
We're like
so
to
the Z. Yeah, to the next generation. So that's very interesting. I also think it's interesting. I'm just wondering in terms of like the conventional thing, even like the college, because I really feel like millennials, we got screwed over with the telling us to go to college, and then by the time we got in college, do all this stuff, they don't even have jobs for you. College is just exorbitant in terms of the cost to go there. It's just so much stuff we end up paying for our parents, paying for our own college. And when I say parents, I mean as your parents get older, because a lot of them might not have help and things, even like retirement stuff. So you end up helping out your parents. Then you're trying to help out yourself get out of debt. And then you're trying to save for your own kids to go to college. So it's just like we really got screwed over. And I can even see it in our generation of the older millennials that people in like our age, they don't even want to have like more than one kid. Like I've seen that just because they see the pressure and the cost of all the stuff. It's just crazy when you think about all that stuff, how it changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, and maybe Bree and Jordan can anonymous can add into it. I want to say something though. I think you guys' level was so a risk taker. That's why I enjoy so much with them. Is like you guys just go get it, and like you guys fight. Is the fear is not even your vocabulary. Like the stuff that me and Joy may talk about, or maybe even speaking with Brianna. Like, I'm sorry, anonymous. So let me keep adding that into that, okay? But at the same time, that part of y'all, was that just a generation that you say like, oh, let's make sure we get this? That's like by just even with you, Joy, with our Airbnb, with things that you're doing currently, like add a little bit more value, like on what that part that I may not have seen now, because you guys facing fear and looking at it and staring in the eye like, what's up? Come get me.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. my generation specifically has grown up without the rose colored, like, sunshine and rose petals version of America. When I was in third grade, we had 9/11. Then we were in war with Afghanistan. We had a president who lied about that. Then after that, we had Barack Obama, and everything was cool and stuff. But we still had a hella racism and all the things that went with that. Then obviously we had Trump. So we don't have this like romanticized, like lovely rose petal view of America that the past generations have had. Like, we look at it as it really is. We can pull up the internet and pull up the history and the facts, and like, we don't have to listen to just like a textbook that some man in Texas wrote up about history that leaves half of history off of it.
Yeah,
so,
with the access, you get more information.
Yeah, you know
about
what I mean.
Everything,
so it's
right?
just so we have a way like more hardcore, realistic view of America, and a lot of us aren't very like keen of it. To be honest with you, we want to change a lot of things, and we're just, to be frank, just waiting for y'all to either die or move on or give us the power. Because
wait a minute, who's y'all? Wait,
not
hold
y'all,
up,
but
I ain't that old.
I'm just saying, like, the older generations, because like y'all
No,
wasting time,
no,
you're holding
that's
us
word.
back.
No,
Like,
that's word though.
we're like here ready to change, make some progress, and y'all are spending time, arguing, fighting over little stuff, trying to still, claim parties and all this stuff. Like, come on, man. We see the roadmap is clear as day. We know what we need to do.
Wow.
It's just we waiting for y'all to get the picture. So that's where the fierceness comes with, because we don't have this like, we didn't stand up. We did, but like the kids like I coach in high school, they don't stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. They don't, there's no like, they grew up with kneeling to the flag. You know what I mean? That's a totally different mindset than you guys going into school doing the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. Like, they kneel for the flag to show representation for what it's supposed to represent. But that, like, just little things like that, it's just different because our eyes are open. Like, we have video cameras now. We can see people that look like us getting shot on the street by cops, and like having people lie, and like having people get things getting covered up, and seeing the BS, and see, like, it's all there for us. It's all accessible for us. It's every morning. It's every day. So that picture is a little different in our eyes. So I think that's where it comes from for the most part.
And not only that, but we see it in real time.
Yeah.
And that's major, that you see it in real time as it's happening, because there's no editing, it's no showing you what they want you to see.
Right.
That's good. Right. No. And so,
one more thing to add to that. Also, again, with the access thing, I think we're all at the point where we just learned that, like, again, that American dream thing is just a lie. Like, whatever that dream they tried to sell you in your generation, or people older than us, that's a lie, man. That's not how America works. That's not how you get money. That's none of that stuff is how you actually make wealth.
So
don't
and
like, it can help you, but that's not how you make wealth.
Yeah, and then the fact that, like, wealthy people, like, they try to paint the picture like, oh, they're good and this and that. Like, no, a lot of them who got money, they did some grimy stuff. They spit on people. They did a lot of stuff. They're not these honest, true people. A lot of people that's in Harvard, their daddies paid some off. It's just like all these things, like you said, those rose-colored glasses. But I feel like our generation definitely sees that, but it's sort of like we were already in it. I feel like our generation, the older millennials, were like split. So it's some that are on that side and some that are following what their parents told them with the traditional way. So it would sort of split with us, but then it's going the other way with the younger millennials. Yeah.
No, I definitely do, because I mean, like, you guys were like, still thriving in a time where it was like pretty old school, like in terms of traditions and like everything like that. So it's ingrained in you. That's how y'all were raised. That's your childhood. That's deep in you. So I think now that you guys get cell phones and you can get on TikTok and Instagram, like, you guys are like, hey, we got it now. You know what I mean? Like,
this dude.
But it's true. But am I lying though? Like, am I lying though?
But wait a second though. We're the first generation, the older millennials, to have all this stuff. So you tried it, okay?
But here's my thing: like, we're the ones that teach you how to use it, though. You know what I mean? It's a difference. It's a difference, because we're the ones who had that stuff since, like I said, I was in elementary school on Facebook.
Yeah,
and MySpace,
I think it started with us in high school.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like the MySpace and cell phones. I think, I may have been like 10th grade.
But look how it's evolved even now. You go to the airport or a restaurant and stuff, you see like 2 or 3-year-olds with iPads playing games and stuff. Like my future sister-in-law, she has a little baby sister, and she can use an iPhone, play games, find YouTube, all that stuff. She's like 2 or 3. But when you grow up with it and that's just your thing, like, it just evolves over time. It's evolution.
So you had something to say, Coach B? So with all this being said, I get it. Like, just that feeling of just being free and being non-conventional, because it's just like, why do it all these steps that y'all say when that doesn't work? So I get that part. But question, do you guys feel, and that's for Anonymous and Jordan, do you feel that you are sort of not doing your part? Because I feel like both of you are great people, right? So why wouldn't great people want to spread and have some babies and some generations and teach them and instill great things. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you are taking away from what you're really put here to do? Not saying you're put here to do that, but I mean, like, spread more people like you, make more people like you. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? You know, I mean, I'm not going to take this from you, and honestly, be short with it. You know what it is, though? I think our generation is honed in on more like mental health, therapy, taking care of yourself, wellness. And I think that if the generation before us did that more, we would have eliminated some of like the societal problems we have. I don't think a lot of like, you know, before us, you had to be a macho man, you had to be tough, you know, but there's so many guys who have so many like underlying issues under that mindset. Like we don't grow up in that environment. We can express ourselves, we can say things. So for me, it's just like, let me work on myself. Let me find myself in a place where I know financially, mentally, spiritually, I can take care of a kid, and then we can have that conversation. But right now, I'm not there. And I think too many people just jump the gun and try and fit like a timetable and stuff. They had produced these kids or whatever. And then we end up with just like, you know, all these wild people in our society, people who are disrespectful, don't know how to, aren't raised properly, as we say it or whatever. But I think that's just a lot of it. Like, I think, again, it comes down to, you guys were told a timetable. We were just presented with a bunch of options. So it's but for me, I don't like the way you romanticize that, what you were saying, I don't even think of it as like, you know, me necessarily like leaving a seed for the world or bringing up a new person. Like I look at it as like, that's a bill, that's a check. I gotta, you know, get that person through school for, you know, 18 years, and I gotta pay for college. Like, and the way I think about it, like the way I was raised, I gotta do better than how I was raised. So, you know, I went to private school my entire life. You know, I had it nice. So for me to have a kid, I got to do twice as good as that. So my bar is already set high. So I just know for myself, it's just not time. It's not time.
Well, I never thought that, you know, growing up, becoming an adult, you had to have a kid. It was never, you know, a priority, and it still is not. So I don't see myself having a kid at all. But other people may feel differently, but that's their personal thing. I agree with him. Like, I need to get myself together. If I don't have myself together, how am I supposed to raise another human? But at the same time, if I want to go out into the world and, you know, help kids mentally, you know, be a mentor, you know, help them, if, you know, I do it. I do it every day. I see kids stealing, and I'm like, yo, if you hungry, just tell somebody you hungry. You don't got to come out here and steal.
Yeah.
This man don't care. He just know you stole from him.
Yeah.
You about to set your life on fire for a bag of chips and some donuts.
Yeah.
So my view of children is completely different. I don't need to have my own. I just need to help the ones that are out here. You know, it's never been a priority for me to have my own kids.
I think, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because, and so this is my question though, B. I mean,
Anonymous.
This is the question. I still feel that you're the only child. So is that you just saying, you know what, I want to just be by myself, always by myself? Or because I'm saying it because Jordan, you still saying you do want to have kids, just not right now. Correct?
Yeah, I would have kids.
Okay. So is that, are you saying because I'm the only child, or have you even thought of that deeper, saying, you know what, this is what I want, this is my mind, this is where I already had my mind made up at?
I don't think that the fact that I'm an only child even came into it. Because even though I'm an only child, I've never grown up alone. You know what I mean? My mom adopted my cousin when I was young. So he was always in the house with me. I grew up with my cousin. Like, it was times where we didn't have a place to live, because I grew up with just my mother, because my father left when he found out my mom was pregnant. So I was never alone. We always had family to support us. And I grew up with my cousin, who is really like a year younger than me. We literally grew up together, like more than cousins, as sisters. So being an only child never even crossed my mind as that. You know what I mean? And my cousins were my brothers and my sisters. You know?
Yeah, that's good. Well, I know I'm gonna switch the topic real quick, and I'm gonna find out you had something else you about to add, Cam?
No, what you want to say?
So I want to switch it up as we talking, you guys transferring into y'all lifestyle now, entrepreneurs, business owners, and now you guys are really like you guys said. I think you guys are really is that what they call that aha moment of society now. Like you guys are really taking that chance, that risk, that fear factor, and really making things happen. Because I mean, me and Camila already always said like, "Yo, we would never be nowhere without you guys," and that's just being realistic. Like you guys really have that push. Like even with Mumble Studios, you started that joy. You know what I'm saying? Us sitting down having a conversation where health and fitness and stuff like that. So what made you just come out with the idea when I came to you guys and we talked to you guys? What made you guys your innovative ideas that I saw? What made you just came out and say, you know what, this is the chance I can go ahead and show my stuff right now? Because you guys ain't fearing nothing. I call you guys the Go Warriors.
Mm, I mean, again, like the same way you guys felt pressure to get, go to college, have a good job, get married, blah, blah, blah. We feel pressure to go get it. I mean, go hustle. Cause it's like, we look around in our generation of kids, people around our age and stuff. And, it's just this constant flex, I wake up in the morning and see, people living their best lives. I mean, in Tulum, Mexico, women just looking crazy, all different things. Everybody knows how it is. So for us, it's just like, that's our blueprint. That's our marriage and kids and the white picket fence and two dogs. Like that's us. Like, cause right now, like we live in a time with the internet and things where you can make money in a billion different ways that you couldn't in the past. It's opened up so many different industries and things. So you can almost think of it as a almost like the industrial revolution to a certain extent back in the 19th century, or something like a big event that took over, infrastructure, changed like the course of a civilization, that kind of thing. That's kind of what the internet's doing now. And if you think about it, we only had the internet for like what, 19, 20 years or something, real short time.
I know.
So if you think about it, we're in the infancy stage of that. So we're just the generation that came up with it. We just learned how to get money. Think about it, like Twitter, Uber, all the big companies, Airbnb, they've only been around for like 10 years or less, I think. So
wow,
10, 12 years, maybe 15 years at most. And that's a baby for a company, So just think about how that can grow and what's coming next and what's new. Like that's just our MO. That's just our generation's MO, because we have it, it's accessible, and like we've been raised in this environment around our peers in our environment where, you got to get it. You got to put on. And it's not even like where you have to, but that's just like our burning desire inside, the same way you guys had the same, let me get that smashing good degree and let me get that high paying job when I leave.
Stand the way you're talking right now. What you're not gonna do.
Like the same way y'all got excited about that stuff, I get excited when I get that reservation on Airbnb, or I start my Toro business, or I start putting my money down for my property.
You have a degree though, right, Jordan?
Of course.
So what was that? Was that just to please your parents? What's that?
No. I mean, honestly, like, again, I speak for myself from a very particular point, because I understand my situation when I grew up was not regular. Like growing up in the environment that I grew up in, college was not an option.
That's just what you do.
It's just what you did. So when I didn't know college was an option for people until I got to college. Like that was like when people were like, "Oh, like this was hard for me to like, I had to like work to get here, and I was really this is my one school I was trying to get into." No, like for me, it was like, oh, it's junior year. It's sophomore year. We got our first college meeting. We're gonna get our apps in. I was doing college tours when I was a freshman in high school, like all this kind of stuff. So for me, college was just like part of the game. Like getting a bachelor's degree was like to me, a bachelor's degree is the equivalent of like a high school degree.
Yeah, it's like the first little first
step.
Yeah,
that's the first step. Like when I see people say, "Oh, I'm going for my master's or my doctorate," I'm like, "Oh, go do that. That's you. That's schooling to me." You know what I mean? Everything else is basic in my head. But as I said, I know that's irregular. I know that's not normal. I'm not trying to down anybody's accomplishments, because a high school degree is definitely an achievement for sure. And an associate's degree is definitely an achievement for sure, and a bachelor's degree as well. But it's just like I said, in today's society, bachelor's degree is a requirement for any job you want. To be honest with you, any job you want. And I'm not, and I know we talk about businesses and all that kind of stuff, entrepreneurship on here, but I never knock a 9 to 5, because that check can get you open you up a lot of doors. You can sit on that little regular check, have your little spot, build your credit, have some savings, and then you can explode if you really put your mind to it. Get on, and then start hustling, flipping, learning about little side hustles, all that stuff. But no, I'm never going down a bachelor's degree. I got it myself based on my circumstances. Like I said, I didn't know any other option, to be honest with you. Like going to college was not an option. I think even like my grandparents have college degrees and doctorates, so it's just something that's in my family. So that's all.
You have any opinion on that?
Well, I agree with you, because when I went to college, it was not an option, and I didn't have the option to go to PG. I didn't have the option to go to a 2-year. I had to go to a 4-year, and I had to do that because that's all my mother got. She wanted me to do better than she did. And then on top of that, in my family, when I go down my line, my specific line, my grandfather, my grandmother, they didn't graduate from and go to college. They got GEDs.
Wow.
My mom, she got her high school diploma. She got her associates. My uncle got a GED. My aunt graduated high school. My cousins, they didn't go to college and graduate. You know, they went through high school. They got that. Some of them got GEDs, but some of them still working on their GEDs. But you know, I was the first one in my family.
Wow.
And for my family, that was a major achievement.
Can I ask you something real quick? Not to take over the conversation, because I've always wanted to ask somebody, what is that like? Like, I've never, like, I hear that so much in the Black community and stuff. Like, I'm the first person to go to college in my family. I'm the first, like, millionaire in my family. But all that stuff is, like, in my head, all that stuff's done in my family. Like I said, my grandparents were, like, they had a substantial amount of money kind of thing. Like I said, all my grandparents had college degrees or doctorates or master's degrees. So for like, what is it like? I'm just asking, like, what is that like?
So unlike you, I come from a lower income background.
Right.
So for me, my grandmother, she picked cotton. My family's from the South. My grandmother marched with King. It's just really different. They were at a lower income. My grandmother was a seamstress. My grandfather worked in a factory. My uncle worked in several factories. My uncle was the type of person who would rather work because he knew that money was there in working than going to school. The only reason why he went back was because he realized that you needed a GED to elevate. And he wanted to elevate. He wanted manager money, so he had to go get that GED. And to be honest, I never really felt a certain type of way about whether you get a GED, whether you graduate high school. I guess because in my family, you know, it was something that was normal.
Wow.
And circumstances caused that for some. They made bad decisions and they had to go upstate. So with these bad decisions, you have to just keep rolling with the punches. My mother made a decision when she was 22. She said, I'm leaving here and I'm going up north and I'm going to find me a good job. My mother decided she was going to go into insurance. Insurance didn't work for her. She did real estate. Real estate didn't work for her. Then she started working for the government. That worked out for her. She became a Fed and it worked out for her. I am a product of a single parent household. My mom by herself bought a house. So when y'all were talking about kids and all this, and I'm just scratching my head like, no, that seems like too much work. I don't wanna.
So all of that is honest. And I understand that. I don't know if you wanted to say some more, we could say it, but I just wanted to wrap all of that up just to say I completely understand where you guys are coming from in terms of just getting yourselves together, right? And also being free and not having the responsibility of all these things. But of course, with life, so many things change. And I just want both of you to know that in life, everything's not going to be perfect or set up exactly the way you want it for it to happen. And that's for anything. That's even like business, right? Like you can really just take that model for even business. You can take that for relationships or kids. Like sometimes it just is what it is. So you just got to go with it. You can't have a whole pretty package and say, okay, now I'm ready. Like you're never going to be ready until you're ready and actually do it. So don't let anything like I'm not ready hold you back if that's something that you do desire. That's all I want to say about that. But if you don't desire it, that's fine too. But I mean, if you're not going to have kids, y'all better make sure y'all feeding and pouring into these other kids because I like y'all people, okay? All right.
I can just babysit y'all kids. I really do hope the best for this 4th and 5th child.
All right. On that note right there, we're going to end the podcast show. We appreciate you guys again, man. This is your boy, Coach B.
And it's Cammy. I really enjoy having, little family up here. We had a good conversation. We're going to have to bring them back around. I know the audience going to enjoy this. What you think?
I think they will enjoy it. I think you should share it. I think it's all dope. It definitely was dope.
All right, so we want to shout out Mumble Studios, right?
Of course. Mumble
what you
Studios.
want to say about Mumble Studios?
Well, of course, guys, if you need your thing, ask us, man. We'll come and do a free video for you guys. Again, we got the Mumble Studios.
That's the production company, right?
Yep, that's the one. We come right to you. We come pull up on you. How we say, Joy? We do the health. We do the fitness. We do the podcast. We do the it's whatever you need. Virtual. We do whatever is needed. Social media, whatever platform it is. We come to you at your door and we'll come meet you and set you up whatever needed.
And you can contact them on IG, right? What's the IG tag?
Again, Mumbo Studios. You can meet us. It's real simple. MUMBO Studios. Really simple and easy. Mumbo Studios. And come contact us, our camera guy, production team. We'll come give you some guidance. Also with the entrepreneur class we're about to do. We'll teach you how to do Airbnb. Our guy, I'm glad we got Jordan here because he actually going to be one of our guys that's taking the whole run of that and showing people how to invest in that the right way. So what else? Anything else that we probably currently missing, guys?
I got one. Shout out Rose Park Property Group. That's my company. It's my Airbnb property management group. You can find us at roseparkpropertygroup.com. Or you find on Airbnb if you're lucky enough. But hit up the website. You can contact me, or you can hit up Coach Boyd on Instagram, wherever you can reach him, and he's always on my line, so we can talk about that. But I just want to say one thing that we forgot on the podcast. I'm glad because we were talking a little bit earlier about some. I was going to get some heat today, and I guess I avoided the bullet. So I'm gonna dispatch the microphone. We're gonna save that.
We're gonna have to bring you back because I heard about Jordan. People talking about him. You right. I did.
You forgot about that.
We got off a topic.
But I said, hey, I'm gonna slide out of here real smooth.
That'll give me time to listen to that podcast real closely.
Make sure, get your whole case ready. Get your whole case ready. I'm ready for it. All the smoke.
Wow. I just wanted to let people know of some things that we have in the works. We are going to start visiting I guess you want to say a lifestyle and cooking and workout with the boys. They will be cooking with their family, showing you guys what life is like with their family, and just keeping it real with you. We're going to come out with our first episode, hopefully the first or second week in June.
All right.
So stay tuned for that.
Y'all going to get some behind the scenes actions to see how it really goes down.
Yeah, guys. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, last thing in terms of Rose Park Property Group again. If anybody out there is looking to invest in a multifamily unit or any type of land or any type of just like hospitality property management project, please reach out to us. We're definitely looking to acquire some property, move into the ownership realm, and really get this model moving. So if you have any type of money or any type of, you want to put your savings, you're looking to invest into some property, get yourself some residual income, passive income, please hit our line. I got multiple options for you in terms of investing that money. I just need them bills. So if we can work that out, I promise you we can bless all your pockets. Okay.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's a blessing.
Y'all see
in
this
disguise.
squad? We got a squad in here. You hear me?
Man, a blessing in disguise, guys. Again, we so thankful that you guys came on the podcast today. Again, if you follow our podcast, guys, we got some really great guests coming up, guys. Again, even if you have not heard some of our podcasts, go back, listen to the first one we first started. We came a long way now, and we're just so thankful. And again, we appreciate you guys. It's your boy, Coach B.
Hey, and it's Cammy.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Hi there, everyone. This is
Exclusive hot